Is it going now? Oh, oh. In 1972, this engineer, this friend I had met through two people that I met at Cornell. I was doing interactive work, and one was in the electronics, going for electronics engineering, and the other one was mechanical engineering. And I started collaborating with them at Cornell. And then when I went out to LA, I was living in LA, in Venice, and the two of them brought Mike Trivich, who lived in LA, with them to my studio. And they also brought one alpha wave machine. And I said, why don't we have two? And why don't we express silently how we're both putting out alpha at the same time? So I connected. I was a video artist, and I brought out video equipment with me from Cornell that I'd gotten there. And I focused a camera on us, and I had a special effects generator, and I superimposed the Lissajous pattern, because he said, well, why don't we use a Lissajous pattern? Why don't we use an oscilloscope? Because when you put one input on the x-axis and the other on the y-axis, it bends the wave into a circular configuration. And then we can tell who's on which axis, because one will be on the horizontal and one will be on the vertical, and it'll distort horizontally or vertically, depending on who's on which axis. And then when we're both putting out the same brainwave at exactly the same time, exactly the same millisecond, it'll make a circle. It'll make a circular configuration. And we did that. We superimposed it over our faces. And I was I was teaching at UCLA at the time, and I connected with Barbara Brown, who was a biofeedback specialist, Barbara Brown. And she said, why don't you call Barry Sturman? He's got a neuropsychology lab. He can give you access to EEG equipment, and he had a PDP-12 lab computer. And we fed, simultaneously, we fed the output of our brainwaves into the PDP-12 computer, and it displayed how one was influencing the other person non-verbally. I remember doing it, and I heard an airplane overhead, and you could see that distraction on the chart. And then you could see how I went back into putting out theta together with my partner at the time. We were the first people to create a brainwave drawing game in 1988. I still work with Mike. Mike is the one who's responsible for me making the one that I'm generating now is with 4 participants. And he's the one who sent me the articles about the cerebrospinal fluid going up to your brain to cleanse your brain of plaque that causes Alzheimer and dementia. And as it's cleansing it, plaque causes, the buildup of plaque causes Alzheimer's and dementia. And at night, your brain naturally washes the plaque. If you rest and you sleep, but this stimulates the cerebrospinal fluid. What stimulates? 40 hertz gamma light flashing. You don't look at the light directly. You look peripherally at the light. And if you have 40 hertz gamma binaural beats, if you put one beat in one ear, 80, and another at 120, you get a 40 hertz gamma, which is in between the 2 hemispheres and travels down to your pineal gland, which is connected to your third eye. And between the 2 things, we have incorporated the flashing light and the beats into our scenario. And I say, because Ed Baer is the engineer I'm working with now, as well as Mike chips in. But he's the one who wrote to me and I about this phenomenon of the light and the audio stimulating the cerebral spinal fluid. And I said, well, is there anything that tells you, anything out there that tells you when you yourself are emitting 40 hertz gamma? And he said, no. And I said, now there will be. And we have a functional patent. We have now we're the Cardozo Law School, Yeshiva University is sponsoring us, creating a provisional patent as I speak to protect us when I go to premiere the piece at University of California at Santa Cruz. So it's a complete mix of art and science, and I think that's what attracts the art world to it now, is this mesh of the medical and art, is science and art coming together completely. And I can't talk without my hands. I need my hands to talk.